Okay, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTN Sports. I have the pleasure of welcoming back a legend of the game of boxing, none other than Junior Jones. Junior, how are we doing?
I'm doing good too, thank you.
How have things been, champ?
Things been okay. Very busy, but can't complain.
Well, for people who don't know who you are, and I'd be shocked if people didn't know who you are, please let them know who you are as a reminder.
Poison Junior Jones from Boca. I'm a five-time world champion. Defeated Marco Tembrero and all kinds of awesome numbers.
Absolutely, and you're also a two-time Hall of Famer as well.
Yes, New York, New Jersey.
Fantastic. Look, so you've been on the show before, and I wanted to pick your brain about a few things. First and foremost, I know we talked about Lomachenko before. What were your thoughts about that fight against Lopez last weekend?
An experience. I mean, his skill set, I think, was sometimes when you fight certain guys, you can't do the same thing. Game plan is he tried to fight Lopez the same way for everybody else, but Lopez is always a step ahead.
So you felt that Lopez was
well prepared for Lomachenko. Lomachenko was not well prepared for Lopez.
So you think that Lomachenko may have underestimated Lopez?
No, I just think that he showed that he's a great professional amateur compared to Lopez.
Okay. And what were your thoughts on Lomachenko coming into the fight before that happened?
I mean, before the fight happened, the way he sounded, the way he was talking up, as if it was going to be something very interesting to watch. But then once the first two rounds got by, you know how the fight was going to end up.
Do you feel it was a case of Lomachenko being exposed or Lopez being better, just being a better fighter?
I think Lomachenko got exposed that he can fight those pros that's okay. They're not the top tier pros. I think they're fighting at the Lopez level he's not ready for. He's like I said, professional amateur.
So there were times you'd hear people call him the greatest amateur of all time, the best pound for pound fighter in the world. What was your thoughts about that when he was being hailed as the best thing since almost sliced bread?
I think that's just for people. I guess I don't think, like I said, he was the best amateur in the world. Obviously not, but because, like I said, you got other amateurs like Mark Breland. He lost one fight too as an amateur, but he won every amateur tournament you might think of. So I think people was just a little bit got caught up in his own hype.
Okay, fair enough. What are your thoughts of Lomachenko in terms of him fighting potentially in your era? How do you think Lomachenko would have done in your era?
He gets blown out quickly. When you come out of the era, that was much different. Right now, these guys are pretty much battle fed. My era, it was much harder.
Yeah, you've got a very valid point about calling them bottle fed. Things are probably a lot easier for them then. When we talk about this particular era, Tank Davis is a man that's fighting this weekend against Leo Santa Cruz. What are your thoughts about that fight?
Well, I give my thoughts on that fight. I really don't like Tank Davis because to me, I think that being cocky is okay. I mean, it's part of the sport, but different become cocky and disrespectful. I mean, his cocky and disrespect I really don't stand for. So with him, I'll give him much to it.
So you think that maybe Leo Santa Cruz is going to beat him?
I don't like the guy, but as far as beating him, that's hard to say because Tank can't fight, point blank. Whether I like him or I don't like him, the guy can fight. So my thing is for Santa Cruz to be the guy like Tank is very strong. He's the top of the crop. he got to really come in well prepared because that's not an easy fight.
Okay, interesting. Another thing I'd like to talk to you about is Mark Breland. He's been in the news a lot regarding Deontay Wilder, him being sacked by Deontay Wilder. You know Mark Breland, you know him very well. What do you... You spoke to him yesterday. So what are your thoughts on this whole Deontay Wilder thing with Mark Breland, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, my opinion, not just me, Mark, a good friend. I think about Deontay, he's a guy who couldn't fight point blank. He needs to go back to the gym and learn how to fight more. My thing is, he's won his fights mostly off of power. And when it came to it, you got to dig down deep and get it. He has a clue what that is, how to do that. I think Mark trained him. Mark did the best he can with Deontay, but Deontay, he's limited. As a heavyweight, he's very limited. And I think that fighting those top heavyweights, he would never be in their realm.
So you talk to Mark a lot. How, without obviously putting him in it, how was he speaking to you about the Wilder situation, or did he talk to you about the Wilder situation?
Well, no. I really get to watch because that's like a sensitive thing. So I really didn't get into that with the Wilder situation. But my thing is, further, when you understand Wilder's a guy much to his own beat, he don't listen. I mean, Mark told me a long time ago that Deontay don't listen, does what he want to do, and obviously he's having committed the Bible.
So this whole situation with Jay Diaz, so basically you're more or less saying that Deontay was a law unto his own self.
Yeah, I mean, the thing first of all, with those like Jay Diaz is like, Jay Diaz is not the trainer. I think he's not a trainer. He's just somebody that he was Deontay's boy for a long time. Deontay put him on. That was it. But he's far from a trainer.
So it's been Mark Breland doing all the hard work then with Deontay Wilder then?
Well, Mark was never doing the training, but he was, like I said, he was there and doing what he wanted to do. Deontay's marched his own beat. My thing is, Mark for him, but Deontay does what he wanted to do, so they came out to bite him.
So when did it come to the end, do you believe, that Deontay ended up sacking Mark Breland?
I think because Mark told Deontay the truth. Mark was telling him, I think, listen, you got to go out there and fight and all the BS and all that. It don't mean nothing now. You got to dig down there. And I think that he want to hear the truth. And I think that's what came from somebody telling you the truth. And you got to face it. I don't think he's ready to face the truth.
So you're basically saying Wilder couldn't face the truth, and now he's gone quiet. This third fight.
He's gone quiet. What can you say? There's nothing you can say. I think he wish he would have listened now, but there's nothing he can say. So it's not that he's gone quiet. He can't say nothing. He shut his own mouth.
What about this situation? People talk about Glovegate and Tyson Fury's gloves. What are your thoughts about that?
Repeat that, please.
The gloves.
The gloves. Yeah, my thing. The gloves is my thing is you try those gloves on when you fight at that level. You try gloves on the day before. So your gloves are ready. You already know gloves. So you got a whole day to pick gloves, find what gloves you're gonna use. So the glove thing is BS because you already knew that for a whole day when you want to use those gloves or not. So now you want to use the gloves as an excuse. I don't buy that.
But there are people that are suggesting that, and if you look at the gloves in the photo, you can see Fury's knuckles. They're saying that's the reason. They're not. The padding was taken out.
But I understand that regardless of what you see before the fight, both camps. I bring a guy in my camp and go to your room and vice versa. So if his camp didn't check those gloves out, they put them on. That's his own fault. Don't blame nobody but yourself because you got a guy from your camp go watch him glove up. And I got a guy in my camp watch me glove up from his camp. So if he got away with that with a guy from Mark's camp going in there, then you know what? Hell.
The other thing was the conspiracy theory that because Mark Breland was a crunk guy, that because Sugar Hill was also a crunk guy, that there was some sort of underhanded stuff going on, and Wilder found that out. That's another story that was going around.
Nah, that's the excuse. Because regardless of what kind of guy I am, I think the still boxing, your job as a trainer is to protect the fight. And I think Mark did the right thing during that circumstance, because if he didn't stop that fight, Deontay was going to get seriously hurt. This is what we don't want nobody to get hurt, and he was really going to get really hurt. So it had nothing to do with crime at the time, because during that time of conversation, you're not thinking about gyms, you're thinking about the fight. And I think Mark did the right thing.
So Mark came under fire for stopping the fight where Jay Diaz and the rest of the team stood back and allowed Breland to do that. When
Mark's head training doing the ones, it's the head trainer.
And Diaz didn't stop it. Mark was the one who was the assistant that stopped it. Was that right?
If he's the head trainer, he can do what he wants.
Okay, fair enough. So, but Wilder said, "Don't stop the fight. I'm going to fight until."
It doesn't matter what Wilder said. The thing is, you want to get hurt, or my thing is it's not worth risk your life for one fight. That shit's crazy. Then you're not how good Wilder is the fight on the day.
So, I mean, in terms of Wilder, the third fight, Fury, they're saying the contract expired.
1 second, please.
Pardon? Pardon? Hello? Junior? Hello? I think he might be taking a call, I'm not sure.
Yes, hello?
Yeah, Junior, you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's it, no worries. So, I forgot what I was going to say to you. Yeah, the third fight with Tyson Fury, they're saying the contract got expired. What's your thoughts on what you heard about that?
What fight you said?
The fight was the contract expired. That's why he's not fighting Fury for a third time.
No, I mean, there's no such thing. There's no saying the contract can expire in a fight. We fight, we're not gonna fight. I've never heard of a contract can expire in my life. Contract is a contract. Contracts don't expire until you sign them.
So what's your?
And no one's gonna sign a contract beforehand before the fight is even over. So that's BS.
So what do you think really is then why Fury and Wilder are not fighting the third fight in December?
I think that comes down to having more money than what he's getting. And I think, like I said, he felt the risk is not worth the reward. He wants more.
Okay, so.
But if he tell us they wants more, people go to something else. He's scared when people forget this is business.
Okay, so you think that he's waiting until the crowds come back to fight Fury again?
Yeah, definitely.
But do you think he can beat Fury in a third fight?
Not at all.
Even.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
What's your take on Malik Scott being elevated to be replacing Mark Breland as trainer?
I mean, to me, I think this would be a smooth one thing, as well as he done prove himself to be, and then I switched to train somebody. And my thing is, like I said, I think Deontay, he just wanted a yes man. That's the whole thing. That this guy would yes him to death and not tell him the truth.
Wow. So there's also talk of Deontay Wilder talking to George Foreman. Floyd Mayweather want to get involved. How much of that is paper talk, and how much of that is real?
I mean, I think most of it is paper talk just for headlines, and some of it is real. Because you gotta understand, George Foreman, who was immature, I think he fought himself over things. He's out of George Trent and George Malta. He's more of a guy who's on the camera than the ring.
And Floyd?
Floyd just won a hype. Floyd just won his name thrown around. My thing is, Floyd never told, Floyd never trained. Did you say Floyd's a good trainer?
Interesting.
Like,
so
training and fighting is two different things.
So
training, that thing takes some time.
So if you had the position to advise Wilder today, what would you tell Wilder today? He said, all right, you know what? I got beat. I'm actually going to listen. Junior, what do I do? What would you suggest?
I told him, stop dancing to your own beat. Listen, you got guys around you trying to help you. My thing is, just listen to your corner and just pay attention to what's going on. My thing is, get JD's out your corner. JD's is not a trainer. You need two guys in your corner. You need Mark, you need someone else who's a good trainer to guide you, not JD's. JD's not a box. JD's pro. JD was your best friend growing up. This is business. This ain't nothing to do with friendship.
Wow. So who would you have in the corner with Mark Breland?
Wow. I mean, it's hard to pick. There's so many guys that I can name.
But for Deontay Wilder, to suit Wilder?
I gotta get a trainer like maybe the guys, what's his name, Ronnie Shields. He'd be good for it. Just Ronnie Shields, something like that.
Okay.
Someone who knows the business.
Do you think if Wilder got Breland and Shields in his corner as trainers and Wilder listened,
he'd be a heck of a fighter.
He'd be a heck of a fighter?
Definitely.
Would he beat Fury in a rematch?
Well, it's another point of Wilder. I'll take that back. If he can listen, if he start listening, he'd be a heck of a fighter. If he can listen, if he can stop trying to do his own thing and realize that's what you got to train him for, then yes, he'd be great. But it's not just a train. It's also Wilder just don't listen. He thinks that he's that dude that he ain't gotta listen. So if once he start listening, then that's where it falls down to.
And the whole thing with the costume and him feeling tired and weak in the fight. Any idea about that?
I don't know. I don't buy that. My thing is the costume. You try. I'm sure. I'm positive. You try your costume, your outfit all night today before the fight. We all do. See how we look and everything. So if that was an excuse, because like I said, we try our clothes on day before the fight, make sure our shoes are comfortable, make sure everything goes well. So all of a sudden now, you to tell me you waited for the day of the fight to find out why the shit is heavy. You know it was heavy before the fight. You just thought that it was going to be a problem.
Okay, let's move away from Wilder and let's finish with this. Roy Jones, Mike Tyson. Tyson from your neck of the woods in Brooklyn. What do you think of Tyson's comeback against Roy Jones?
I think it's a tape. It's a dumb fight. Roy's not the Roy he used to be. Tyson. He's still a heavyweight. He's still good. He's always will be, no matter what. A great puncher. So for Roy to try to really fight Mike is to me, I think, is entertainment.
Entertaining.
Roy, fight a guy like Tyson. Mike Tyson be 100 years old. You don't forget.
So how do you think the fight ends for you?
I think Mike stops for it. Just if they go at it in a serious way, yeah, he stops for it. But they can, like I said, choreograph it so make it look well. But if they don't do it like that, my Mike's hurt, Roy. You
say choreograph the fight. Choreograph of Mike. I mean, Mike almost knocked out Corey. Was it Corey Sanders? He almost knocked out in an exhibition fight.
I said choreograph. I mean, like they practice their roles and they might rehearse they gonna do it, yeah, but they go at this in a serious way. Roy's he's not gonna be the guy like Mike.
Never.
Nah, definitely not. I don't care how old Mike is. Like I said, boxing, when you're at that type level, championship level, that's something you never forget.
Wow. And what are your thoughts of hearing about Oscar De La Hoya making a comeback?
De La Hoya making a comeback?
Yeah.
I think first I heard this was, I think that if he can do it, I mean, anybody else did this, why not him? Well, you got that's something come back. You gotta really feel in your heart. Want to do it, not do it for just because you're doing it for just the money. Then I advise you not that you're gonna get hurt. But if you're doing it because miss the sport, miss the competition, you want to get out there, then why not?
The franchise belt. You've heard of a franchise belt, right?
Yeah.
In your era, would you have accepted a franchise belt?
No, not at all.
Why?
I thought it's stupid. I want to be champion. If I gotta share it, I'm not really champion because I'm figuring sharing a franchise belt. So my thing one was it's gonna be champion. I want to be the king alone. King can't share the throne.
Okay, all right. Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. The whole Terence Crawford top rank. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, the Kell Brook fight. I think Crawford. My thing is Kell Brook is not to fight a guy. Crawford, Kell Brook definitely not. It looks good on paper, but people know the real way. He's not beating the guy. Terence Crawford definitely not. Crawford has too many tools. He does too many things. Kell Brook can't beat him.
What do you make of?
Like I said, it looks good on paper.
It looks good on paper. What do you think of Crawford and his situation with Top Rank not getting the big fights against PBC fighters? And should he leave?
I mean, but you gotta say when it comes to that, my thing is it's not Top Rank from if Crawford tells Top Rank, I want a fight with say one of the best guys. They're not gonna tell him no. They gotta give it to him. They gotta do what he wants. So my thing is, if he's not getting the big fights, it's not Top Rank. It's his management team. Top Rank is the promoter. They're gonna do what you want regardless of what you say. They're in the business making money. So if the top fight team, you're gonna fight the best guy out there, they know there's money involved. They're gonna do it regardless of what you like. So it's his management team that Top Rank.
Errol Spence and Mikey and Danny Garcia.
Errol Spence, I got Errol Spence, much bigger guy. I mean, undefeated, good boxer, good puncher. I go with Spence. Even
after the car accident?
Yep. Plus his father, because you're out the car, but you got to figure after the car accident, we trained for 2 or 3, 4 months. So it's not, it was a car accident. Plus you got to figure, Danny Garcia's father sucks. His father's not a good trainer.
Who, Danny Garcia's trainer?
Yeah, his father sucks. His father's not a trainer.
But you would say, but he's got Danny so far as he's got him. He had all most of the belts. Unified champion, moved up, won a belt again.
Yeah, but my thing, when you're a good fighter, you can do things. Like my thing is his father's regardless of what his father's not a good trainer. His father's not even training me. He did because his father. My thing is, if you're gonna fight Errol Spence, you can't do it like that, man. Errol Spence is the cream of the crop.
What have you made of Derek James? He's had, he's got Jamel Charlo, he's got Spence, one of the top trainers in the world today, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's doing very good today. Definitely.
Final question: the new weight division. I think they're going to try and make a weight division between cruiserweight and heavyweight, or heavyweight.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I think that's so stupid.
Why?
That shit. That's so stupid. Either you're gonna fight Cruz or heavyweight, there's no in between. That's why we got heavy, because that's like saying you got 2 heavyweight. This is not amateur, this is professional boxing. I think it's either heavyweight or cruiserweight. There's no in between.
Okay, fair enough. And I have to ask before I go, Ryan Garcia, in or out?
Well, no, I don't think Garcia's gonna be Spence at all. That's not gonna happen. I think Spence is naturally too big for him, and he has too many weapons to use.
No, not Danny.
Yeah.
That's Danny. I'm talking about Ryan Garcia, the one who wants to get paid more money because he's on Instagram for Instagram followers.
Oh, Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
My thing is, be satisfied what you're getting right now. My thing is that's just a matter of just being greedy. My thing is be glad what you're getting right now.
Okay, Junior, before you go, do you have any final thoughts or things you'd like to say about the world of boxing?
No, I'm just saying anybody that's out there boxing, supporting me, will follow me, will know who I am. And like I said, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for what I've done in the sport. I just hope you've enjoyed it.
Junior, thank you so much. And in terms of what you're doing, what are you up to now?
Well, for this pandemic, I was training guys at men's boxing. Once this happened, all the gyms closed, so everything slowed down.
Okay, and now are you getting things back, or is it still the same?
No. I mean, the gym's like just not out there right now. It's till this pandemic. So right now, unless somebody gives me a call, I'm not doing nothing.
Okay, champ. It's great to hear from you. I hope things pick up for you once this pandemic and things clear up.
All right, thank you kindly.
Thank you, champ. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye. So there you have it, the legendary Junior Jones, two-weight world champion. In fact, to hear from a champion like that, it gives you a lot to think about. Talks about Wilder in depth. It was very interesting. So what do you make of it all? It'll be interesting to hear what you think in the comment section. That's it from me. I'm out. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments as always.